Hello, my dear friends, my dear family in both the northern and southern hemisphere. We're in the time of recognizing spring all around us here in Ireland. And of course, I know in the southern hemisphere, you are moving into the slowing down and moving inwards. And there's nothing as beautiful as going out at this time of the year and walking the land, whether it's the early spring or the early autumn, taking in all the beauty and the movement of life herself and her gown of nature around us. The birds are starting to sing again. The lambs have still are being born. And a friend told me that she heard the first bee buzz past her the other day, all reminding us of the opening of life again. My first flowers, daffodils, have come out all around. And I always see the daffodils as a symbol of life awakening and the green of the land and the yellow of the flowers, almost calling to the sun to reflect again and to bring forth that light. And it's always a joy. My heart always moves and opens with that. And it reminds me too to wake up, to start getting moving, to start doing things for myself. And that brought me to the awareness of the balance of all that's happening and the imbalance of all that is happening around us. And I know I've spoken before in the last vlog and the one before about as an act of rebellion to actually bring ourselves consciously into a space of peace, of kindness towards others, of gratitude, of holding that while the chaos around us continues. And let us take that maybe one step further. How about bringing that gratitude into the earth and through the earth and for the earth too? Connecting with the trees as they begin to awaken, as the buds begin to grow, gifting them our love and our gratitude for all that they do for us, for the plant life, for the animals, for those awakening, for those that are busy about their work. Recognizing that nature really does reflect to us what is happening energetically for ourselves and how we can disconnect from that. How easy it is to disconnect, and especially in today's world when there's so much pain happening and so much horror that we're being shown. It's so easy to close down. So easy. And there are times when we need to do that. We need to draw ourselves in and be in our own space for a while. And I see that differently as closing down, cutting off. But to actually stay conscious and stay within, and to find the space that lies within us. And when we walk in nature, when we commune again with our living mother and all that she shares with us, whether she's awakening or whether she's drawing in, it can bring balance to all that we are carrying, to all that we are recognizing, all that is happening around us. It's important for us not to lose our empathy. And it's important for us to be able to shift that too into a space of compassion. And to hold that space of light, that space of love for all those in need. To know, to recognize that we stand in that pivotal point between pure light and pure darkness. Spirit is in the light. That which is lost, that in pain, be it the earth herself, be it the people, the animals, the plant life, are here in the darkness. And we can step in to both. We can allow that light to flow through us into and through those in need, not interfering in their soul's journey, but holding light, holding understanding, holding love. To hold love, we have to start with love. Start with the love for ourselves, to do things for ourselves that let us recognize that we can love ourselves and that we do love ourselves. We honor ourselves, care for ourselves, kindness to self, recognition of our needs. If we feel sad, to recognize we feel sad. And how do we care for ourselves when we feel sad? If we feel bad, how do we honor that? How do we care for that? As you would care for a child, for a lover, for a partner. When we feel glad, when we feel happy, how do we express that? How do we move those energies through our body rather than holding them in, holding them perhaps down? One key, of course, is breath. Breathing out. Our body knows how to breathe in. It's instinctive. But letting ourselves continue to be aware of the outer breath, especially when something happens. You get a shock. You get caught up in something. So often you'll find yourself holding your breath. Letting it out, releasing, relaxing. The breath brings us to the awareness of the flow of life. As we are moving into spring and our southern hemisphere is moving into autumn, there's the balance. When the sperm and the egg connect and begin to grow, they begin to multiply and build an embryo. The first organ is the heart. The placenta brings all that blood, rich in all the nutrients that's needed, into the heart and out. The in and the out, just like the breath, the in and the out. From the moment we're born, it's the breath. And when we pass on to our next adventure, we release the breath. And the heart also lets go. And that is all around us. It's around us with the seasons. It's around us with the waters, the flow of the great waters of the earth, moving in with the tides and moving out. And there's a point when it goes from the tide coming in to the tide going out. There's a moment of stillness before it shifts. And we too can have that moment of stillness in our breath, the breathing in, the holding, and the breathing out. And the holding. And in that breath of space between the breaths, that's where we can find peace. That's where we can begin to stay so that the breath begins to breathe us. And that can help us to stay conscious, to stay connected, to stay aware. Spirit told me many, 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 many years ago now, one of the biggest lessons of our time is discernment. Not judgment, discernment. And later they said, another time, they said, don't take it personally. Whatever it is, don't take it personally. And I feel and see that around me all the time. And I have to remember it for myself too, especially in the family. It's like our family is the one place where we really grow or need to grow through. Don't take it personally. To bear witness to what is happening. And in the consciousness of self, we have the choice of how we wish to respond rather than react. Look at how nature responds. Look at how even a wild cat can become the most loving through care, through love. Consciousness, staying in consciousness. Having gratitude for all around you. Gratitude for life. We have a saying in Ireland, to eat and drink of life. To eat and drink of life, not to watch life go by, but to partake of life, to be alive, to take that life force and to dance with it, to sing with it, to feel the presence of life coming into us again and letting it flow through us, connecting us to the earth that is awakening and recognizing the life force rising up through the sap. And for those in the southern hemisphere, you're having time now, time to move down slowly, still living in the presence of life and consciousness. But you're moving in, or you should be, with the presence of nature. I was waiting in a waiting room the other day, and there was about 6, 7 people, and not one person was looking at anybody else or talking. They were all on our little mobile phones, our cell phones. And I thought, what a shame. Even 10 years ago, this place would have been full of conversation. The Irish love to chat. Normally, we start with the weather before we move on. It's a great way of breaking the ice. And everybody was just sitting there with phones. We've lost something. So I've decided to give myself one day a week when I turn the phone off. And I'm going to leave it off for the day. And then gradually I'm going to make another day a day. Well, I would just tell the family, just send a code, emergency, if somebody's died or somebody's really ill or something of that nature. Because it's taking us away from our connection with each other. I really believe that we have moved from dependence to independence. And now we must move into interdependence, where we are working consciously with each other, coming together, choosing how to move forward. And this, of course, is the age of Aquarius. And I know this will go on for hundreds of years. But unless we work together, unless we cooperate, it will be a very lonely place. And it doesn't need to be. Smiling at people when you pass them. Doesn't matter if they think you're a bit weird. I actually got into that habit, I suppose about 10 years ago. I was driving into Killarney and I saw this woman. She looked so sad, so low, and I was coming out of a country lane into a more main road. And as I went past, and I put my hand out and I waved her and I went, "You're looking great, you're looking great." And I could see her going, "Ah." And I knew she was probably thinking, "Do I know that woman? Do I know that woman?" And it actually became a thing. I couldn't stop myself doing it after that. I started doing it even in shops. I'd see somebody looking down or whatever, and I go, "You're looking great. I haven't seen you for ages." And I'd walk on, I had to actually make an effort to stop myself. But a smile, holding a door open, whatever it is. Let's be part of this human race. Let's be part of this earth family. The earth, the plants, the animals. And we're part of that. Unfortunately, in some ways that are very difficult. But we also have the ability. We are in the center and we can move into the light. We can allow that light to flow through us and out, to be a beacon of light, to hold the presence of that light as we move through the day. As you drive, as you stand in a queue, in your work, in your family, in your food when you're cooking it, to be conscious of allowing that light to flow, taking space to breathe, letting your body relax within the breath. Finding that space of ease within yourself. I invite you, give it a go. Why not? Why not? Much, much, much love and many blessings.